There are characters that are not present on your keyboard, and there are also some reserved words in HTML which we need to replace with entities. For example, there is no corresponding key on your keyboard for the trademark symbol. To represent this, we need to use HTML entities and symbols. Let's quickly see some examples. Let's start with the trademark symbol. To represent the trademark symbol, we can use either the entity name or the entity number. To use the entity name, we'll simply start with an ampersand, and then we just type the word reg. This will display the trademark symbol on your website. Let's refresh the page. You can see that we have the trademark symbol here. Another example is if we want to display the less than sign and the greater than sign on the website. If we specify any text in between the less than sign and the greater than sign, which is not a valid HTML tag, this will not be displayed on the browser. You can see that when I saved and refresh, there's nothing showing on the browser. In order to display the less than sign, we need to use entity names or entity numbers. So to use entity name, you can say LT. Ampersand LT will give us the less than sign, and then ampersand GT will give us the greater than sign. I will save this and do a refresh. You can see here that we have the exact same thing that we typed here before now displayed correctly on the web browser. There's a very long list of various valid entities and symbols in HTML. I'll introduce you to a website where you can find a detailed list of the various entities that you can use. We have the names and their numbers. See from the top, characters and symbols. And here we have the HTML numbers and the names. The ones that don't have names are left blank. Let's look for a common example. The non-breaking space. You know that in HTML, if we put a space in between words like this, it is not going to have any effect because the browser will just ignore the space. Say that the text still remains the same. All the space that we put here are being ignored by the browser. So if we want to ensure that the space is not ignored, we can use the non-breaking space entity to ensure that. I'll grab this and put it here. So if I want to give that much space, I'm going to put more. And now if I save and refresh the page, you can see that the space is now being preserved by the browser. So there are lots more. Like I said, you need to go through the list for the ones that you want. There are some for currency. This is for yen and copyright and lots more. Even for mathematical equations, you can also find the corresponding entity names here and their numbers to use.